Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is July 6th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage political assassinations, terror attacks, and/or World War III surrounding the meeting of Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu and U.S. President Donald J. Trump in Washington, D.C. on the day of July 7th of 2025. So according to the latest reports, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu departed Tel Aviv, Israel on the evening of July 6, 2025, Israeli time. He is interestingly bringing along his son Yair Netanyahu, which I'm going to get to in a minute. And he landed most likely at Joint Base Andrews in Frederick County, Maryland, sometime in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, on the date of July 6th for his meeting the next day, on July 7th. So what's key here is that this is the third meeting between Netanyahu and Trump. In the last two meetings, they tried to stage political assassinations of Trump. They tried to arrest Trump while Netanyahu was in D.C. They tried to stage DEFCON level attacks and terror events in the United States as well as in Israel during this time to basically garner the political impetus, if you will, to basically declare war against Iran and previously Gaza and Hamas. So really quick, in respect to numerology, the date of July 7th marks exactly 168 days since Donald J. Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States back on January 20th of 2025. Of course, the number 168 contains the number 16, which is found in the CIA logo, and the number 6 equates to the letter F, while the number 18, which flanks it, equates to the letter R. So this is number 4, which is the Swiss cross. So this is the symbol of death, which is why it's on every hospital, cemetery, and church. And so some sort of death event or assassination event targeting Donald J. Trump is expected on this particular date. The date of July 7th also marks 28,878 days since Donald J. Trump was born. This has the 888 numerology, as well as the 88 numerology, which was found in the FBI raid of Donald J. Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate back on August 8th, 88 of 2022, which is, and the number 88 has esoteric neo-Nazi numerology inherent to Switzerland. And their constitution was formed on April 19th of 1878, and so on and so forth. And it also marks, interestingly, 639 days since the October 7th attack, which was a false flag operation executed by the Israeli Mossad, targeting their own Jewish population at the Rhyme Music Festival in central Israel. So 639, this has the 69 numerology found in the nuclear attacks at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and it's also exactly 21 months, and this is the letter U, which is symbolically or phonetically the word U as in Jew. So this means that they're going to act on this particular date. Lastly, the date of July 7th is the anniversary, the 240th, or I should say, the 20-year anniversary of the 7/7 London bombings. This was a false flag Israeli operation. They were running a terror drill on the London Tube and the London Underground on the morning of July 7th, and it went live. And this was executed by the Israeli Mossad. So it's also 240 months, and that equates to letter X, which is International Symbol of Death. So exactly what is planned, obviously not known. But right now, the plane that landed in Washington, D.C. area along with Yair Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu's son, has with it a bunch of Mossad members, IDF members, as well as Shin Bet members that are going to execute this operation in Washington, D.C. So what is planned? Obviously, the top 5 most likely scenarios are some sort of 9/11 style attack targeting Washington, D.C., or some major terror event, possibly killing both Trump and Netanyahu, some sort of storming attack, truck bombing attacks, suicide bombing attacks, mass shootings, or some sort of chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear event. That being said, breaking news and events suggest that given that Benjamin Netanyahu is becoming extremely or is becoming a political liability in Israel, with his corruption scandal being postponed, I think it's over 20 times over the last few years, and his links to the mastermind, being the mastermind of the October 7th attacks coming out, and him, the Israeli police and the Israeli government failing to postpone his trial. This information is going to get exposed. So instead of facing his crimes, the CIA has concocted a very nefarious plot which is going to be executed on the morning of July 7th in Washington, D.C. This is what I believe it entails. That the Israeli Shin Bet, Mossad, IDF troops that came with Netanyahu are either going to double-cross Netanyahu, or more than likely, he's going to be part of this, but Netanyahu, his son, and Trump will all be kidnapped, allegedly, by Iranian nationals, sleeper cells, or the IRGC, Iranian Special Forces, IRGC. So this will obviously start World War III. So it's going to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. It's going to knock out President Trump. Netanyahu's going to sail off into the sunset and go live in a gated community on some island somewhere, or in the gated communities in Israel. Probably get a nose job and a hair transplant. Disappear. He's going to look sympathetic. He's going to go down as a war leader. His crimes will be unceremoniously dismissed, and he gets to chill on some beach somewhere the rest of his life. Donald J. Trump will be taken likely to a CIA dark site, tortured for days, weeks, months, if not years, and then eventually killed. People will blame Iran for it. It'll start a huge war. That is why I believe Yair, who brings their son? What is it? Going to work with Daddy week? So it's like very strange that Netanyahu would bring his son Yair in his high-level business business meeting setting type with the President of the United States. This is very strange. So it looks like they're going to take out both Netanyahu and Trump at the same time, likely one or more of Trump's cabinet members. And then if you'll recall, during the October 7th attacks, the Israeli Mossad, masquerading as Hamas, took 251 hostages into captivity, and I believe that there are 49 still left. Maybe that number is down a couple. And so this is what they plan on doing. This is going to be an American hostage crisis that they're going to blame on Iran. It's going to be revenge for the attack on their nuclear facilities, and then it's going to continue to escalate until the nukes start dropping. So that's what's going to happen on the date of July 7th. Obviously, Trump is in extreme danger when Netanyahu is in town. In the aftermath of this video, they may stage a sniper assassination targeting Donald J. Trump and or Netanyahu. They may kill him in any way, shape, or form that I previously mentioned: suicide bombing, sniper attack, storming attack, CBRN-related attack, VBID, what have you. But Donald J. Trump is going to likely die in some form or fashion when Netanyahu is in town, and J.D. Vance will likely be sworn in as the 48th President of the United States while Netanyahu is in town. It's also highly likely that while Netanyahu is in town in Washington, D.C., that the CIA is going to stage terror attacks in Israel, the Middle East, or Europe that are being blamed on Iran. Or they may stage terror attacks in Washington, D.C., or other parts of the United States that will be blamed on Iran, because this is the bread and butter of the Zionists, is to basically set up the Arabs to take the fall for Zionist atrocities across the world. And this is what is going to happen when Mr. Netanyahu is in Washington, D.C. There's also the possibility that the CIA could claim that Donald J. Trump assaulted Netanyahu or one of his bodyguards and had to be restrained, and was subsequently suffered a medical related event and died. But as long as this man, this war criminal, this Zionist piece of shit, Netanyahu, is in Washington, D.C., Donald J. Trump's life is hanging in the balance in every way, shape, or form. And it's imperative to note here that if something happens to Donald J. Trump, it's going to be in the aftermath of a CIA order stand down of the Secret Service. So Switzerland is going to make sure that the Secret Service has their back turned, or is not in the room, or is in a stand down motion, so that they can have their Mossad go in and do their dirty work that they need to do. So it's going to be coordinated, and it's all going to be orchestrated by Switzerland, but it's going to be executed on the ground by the Mossad, the Shin Bet, or the IDF that are with Netanyahu, that landed just today, July 6, 2025, in the Washington, D.C. National Capital Region. So obviously, if any of the aforementioned events come to fruition in reality, I kindly ask you to download this video and share with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.